What is up, everyone? Jammers in the Rough. We have an amazing episode for you. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves here shortly, but we have some amazing team captains from TSA, which is Thought Space Athletics, a small up and coming manufacturer. Also, not really small anymore. They had some big free agency signings that we'll get into, so stay tuned for that. But as always, we have our absolute lovely co-host Josh, the present TSA, Winter. We have Cody, the absolute worst, and of course myself, Paige. But why don't I pass it over to you, Alex? Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and
Sure
say
enough.
what you're about?
Thanks for having me here. I'm Alex Stone, captain of everything west of the Mississippi in the U.S. And that's my time. How about Lurch?
Hi, I'm Lurch. I'm the East Coast captain for TSA. I like long walks on the beach and PBR.
Now, bull riding or the beer?
Both.
Hey, that's my kind of man.
And if you guys don't mind, I guess we kind of backed ourselves into a corner here early. It's my super fantastic pleasure to introduce our newest captain for all things Canada, Jerry Ann. Jerry Ann, take it away.
Hello. How exciting is this? Didn't expect to be here this early, so I am really honored to say that I will be the Canadian TSA captain.
For all of Canada, right? So it's not just like west of the Mississippi for Canada. It's like
all of Canada. I have a big responsibility on my hands.
I was gonna say that's a lot.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it.
I don't know if you guys know, Canada's pretty big.
And we like
and cold.
And cold. They get to play like two months of the year without snow.
I'll be honest, I would have guessed the dude in flannel was the Canada guy, but I'm wrong.
I'm wrong. No,
that's Lurch.
He's East Coast with me.
All right, so we can get started with so what got you involved with TSA? Jerry Ann.
Oh, me.
Yeah, let's start with you.
So my journey started in 2021 when I got locked up for 3 weeks with COVID, and I had to seek out entertainment through the Canadian Disc Golf auction block, to which me and my fiance ended up in a bidding war over the Zoe Glowy mantra. So we legit went back and forth, one-upping each other on the auction block until eventually I conceded and he won. But it doesn't start with just one. That's just when it starts. And yeah, after that, I continue down the TSA addiction ride. And I mean, you look at me, I got tattoos everywhere. So I appreciate really good artwork. And of course, I want that on my discs.
Heck yeah. What about you, Alex?
My story about how I found TSA is definitely nowhere near as interesting. I just so happened to, it might have been through Infinite Discs, I think. Stumbled upon one of the Moth Ethos Pathfinders, the first run, and this was 2020, late 2020, I believe. Didn't know what it was that I had until I lost it. And of course, you lose a TSA disc, rarely do you get them back. They're so neat that people just tend not to call the number. Didn't know what I had until I lost it. Went back to the website to see if I could find another one. They were out. Made my way to Thought Space groups on Facebook and just immediately became enthralled with the community and the people and the plastic. So little by little, I just kind of got deeper and deeper and more endeared and embedded in the community. And, it wasn't too long before, and even before I knew it, I was kind of just like living and breathing that lifestyle, the elevate yourself, elevate those around you. And it's a really good place for me to be. It's a place I really enjoy being. So that's kind of how it brought me to where you see me today.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's a good story. What are you talking about?
That story.
That was solid.
Sorry you didn't get your disc back.
Enough. Oh, geez. How do I follow that up? So like 2 years ago, I got dropped on my ass from Latitude, and I jumped on Team Prodigy. Yeah. And before I was on the team, the reason why I joined Prodigy was two managers of the street team I looked up to. They were mentors of mine. They up and just quit the team. So I was like, all right, screw it. I haven't been here for a while anyway. So my better half, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Maximum effort, babe. Good job. So Aaron wanted her back on the team for a while, and she was like, yeah, sure, whatever, cool, I'll be on the pro team. And I'm like, whoa. We're a package deal, buddy. We're a package deal. And Aaron was like, hey, man, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're not pro team material, dude. And I was like, all right, screw it. Put me on the street team. He's like, we don't have a street team. And I'm like, I'll run it. And he's like, all right, cool. I got this cat out in Arizona called Alex Stone. I want him to be your West Coast captain. And me and him started the team last year by the seat of our pants, and we're still doing it year 2. But now we have
emphasis on the seat of the pants.
Thank you,
seat
Nicole.
of the pants, indeed.
Well, that's great.
Also, I apologize if you hear a dog barking. I have a 2-year-old in the room with me who is an Australian cattle dog and German Shepherd, and she's a loudmouth. So,
Her name is Maggie, and she's amazing.
Actually, it's funny. Like, I think with my TSA journey too, Lo. This is like before you guys were manufacturers. Back in my Discraft days, it's like 4 years ago, maybe 3. But I actually bought a disc from you guys or from TSA. Sent me the wrong disc. I reached out to them, and they hooked me up with like 3 different discs. Like, I wish I still had them because it's just like they're absolutely amazing artwork, and that's why like I gravitated to them because I was like, oh, like here's this one disc that has this cool samurai on it. Let me pick this up, and then they made it right and sent me like 3 or 4, like more than made it right. And so for me, I always kind of kept an eye on TSA because it's like, well, it doesn't take much to make me happy for those little things, but doing that, and then it's like they sent me like this blue Ronin Heat, and I was like, okay, cool. It's super domey. Became my roller disc for a long time, and ended up losing that one. Never got a call back, as you surprise. But when they started breaking into like their own manufacturer, like I definitely tried to kind of keep up with some of that. I remember making a huge push. What was it, like the Animus? When that first came out, like I absolutely loved the Animus when it came out, where it's like, oh, here's a 11-speed CD2, and let me do some amazing things with this, and just really like fell in love with that as a disc when it first came out. But that's my little brief history with TSA.
Heck yeah,
Cody, nice van of white, by the way. That was clutch. And the Animus right here.
I have to.
Ooh, yeah, first time. What?
Right.
Oh,
Wow. I had this, Josh.
That angel is.
I love it.
Cody's the man of 1,000 discs, and they're all slightly used.
Slightly used.
I don't want to be plastic. Don't.
What are you pulling those out of?
You always ask the same question.
He just has a bin right next to
His
him.
waistband. It's his waistband. He's like, this keeps him warm. These are my
Ooh, for the folks at home, this guy's just pulling discs up into the camera, and they're all super sweet, and we don't know where he's hiding them.
They don't let me talk on here. I just have to hold things up. That's it.
I'll say with us having 6 people on here, it's going to be hard to get a little bit of Cody time. So Cody just and be Vanna White.
I'm okay with that.
No.
Is this one of the busier groups that you've had before?
Yeah.
Well, this is our busiest one by far. This
yeah, for the live recording for sure. Well, since it's the second year going into TSA ambassadorship, a lot of people are probably wondering, like, what is it like to be an ambassador for TSA? What are you looking for? Because applications are open right now, and they're open until the 27th of this month when they close. Is there anything important people should know about it when they're applying?
Yeah, Lurch, why don't you lead off, and then Jerry and I can offer our 2 cents.
I just want to intercept one thing and say you could start messaging Lurch now.
No, shut up, Jerry. No. Notice how I didn't say your name?
Yeah,
so,
I got blown up.
So this is the spiel that I gave Alex last year. And I had to write this down because I'm never going to remember the whole thing. I'm not looking for 1,000 rated studs or 100-round tour studs. What I'm looking for is people who can raise the tides around them to better help their community and club, whether that's organizing clinics, course cleanups, local leagues and tournaments, or simply just doing reviews of videos and our stuff. Last year, unfortunately, we were limited to the geography of where we could select candidates. We were not allowed to select anybody in New England, unfortunately. However, this class of ambassadors for 2023, we're looking at all 50 states, 10 provinces in Canada, and internationally in Europe right now.
And 3 territories.
Can you talk a little about like what I mean? Because I mean, obviously you have amazing artwork, and there's some amazing artwork out there. But I feel like you guys are definitely, top 3, if not the number 1 for art like collaboration out there. And I got a BPC. We have Manny here, and I love his art. I'm always gonna be rocking Manny. He's definitely up there top 3 with me. But what besides obviously your art do you think really sets you aside? Because I feel like when it comes to manufacturers, you guys started producing and then instantly was selling out. Definitely like, and it's not, so it's like for me, when you guys sell out, it's not just artwork, it's obviously good plastic. You have different runs, you guys are creating different like levels of hype. You guys put jerseys out there, people are buying the jerseys just to wear casually. Like, what do you think you guys really was like some of that catalyst last year that kind of really just like push you forward, I guess?
Sure. Well, what I can say is that I think we really kind of like took up the tide of, just kind of like elevating the game and elevating everybody around us. I don't want to say whether they like it or not, but like it just kind of like trickles down and permeates. You see somebody rocking one of those sweet ass jerseys, first question you're going to ask is, where'd you get that? And then what kind of sets us apart, I think, to the first part of your question is it's the culture. It really starts, well, it starts with the plastic, but it's more than just the plastic. The people that throw the discs are just absolutely incredible. And the plastic is incredible to, compared to those people. A disc can have really, really cool art. The disc can have, shiny foils and sweet designs. But if it doesn't fly, it doesn't fly right. You're not throwing it, no matter how cool it is. The fact that, I think in the Ulta World article that just came out, they ran, I think, something like, 2,000 mantras. And this past year, it was 600,000 units, 600,000 discs. Like, it's really hard to like put a finger on exactly what it is, but there's something. It's the people, it's the plastic, it's the culture. There's something that's just like creating this momentum, and everybody's just riding this wave, and it's infectious, it's contagious, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
No, and I like that because it's like that whole concept of like real recognizes real. Like you can't artificially create something, and you can't just put it out there and hope it gets big. It's just like, no, there's something about it. And I was hoping you guys had some insight on it, because like for me, it's just, it really is. It's kind of like out of this kind of world. Like you see it because like people talk about some of these other manufacturers, but not the way that they gravitate towards TSA, not the way that you see in the forums. Because the only closest thing I've seen to that is like Discmania, but there's also like this collector side of where it's like, oh well, I want to hold on to this $100 disc. Like it becomes more about the profit and the like that side of things rather than what this disc represents. Like Cody can show up that Glow Mantra, and I remember buying that Glow Mantra and throwing it. I remember the shots that I still threw with it, and I haven't bagged it for a year and a half, 2 years, but I still vividly remember that. And that's not true for all of my discs. And so there's something special about it. I don't have that obviously answer for it. Maybe somebody in our chat does, and what it means to them. So I'd love to hear from that. But yeah, for me, it's something special. And so the more insight I can always get, the better.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about it too is that when you say, what does TSA mean to you? Sorry, dude. When you ask somebody the question, what does TSA mean to you? The answer is different and unique and special to everyone, and that's one of the fantastic things about it.
I think everybody kind of has a story of what it means to them and what brought them in, and I think it's definitely the community or the fan base that makes it so addicting. Like you go on to the TSA fan page, and everyone's so uplifting and promoting. If someone has a question, you get a million answers, and if someone just got a really sweet mail call, everyone's like, oh sweet, and everyone's got just positive vibes. So it's beyond the stamps, it's beyond the plastic, it's just something that goes right into your soul almost.
Yeah, and I mean, for some of that too, like I always feel like there's that growth factor where there's such a huge surge with COVID golfers coming into this sport, and it's almost parallel to TSA in the way you guys are blowing up. Yes, you guys are here like a little bit before like COVID, obviously, but the way that TSA grew throughout COVID because of some of that, and that it parallels a lot of that growth as well. So, yeah. I'm here.
I made
for
the
it.
mistake of reading the chat.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Got a giant jar of moonshine.
I was gonna say, like when you pull
Dude,
it
is that
out,
a
like,
fish bowl? Where's the goldfish in that, dude?
Oh, as soon as I saw it on the camera, I was like, "This is such a big
it's
mistake."
just like, oh, all right, I'm thirsty.
But
By
see,
the
that
makers
says
of what?
another thing. Like, we're just really fun people. Like, not just the ambassadors, not just the captains, but all the way down to the people on the messaging boards. We're just real people. Like, real. We're not fake. We're not phony. We're not like, hey, you have to throw this. It's like, hey, you should throw this. Give it a try. And if you like it, I got one for you. You can take it out of my bag. But we're not going to sit there and ram it down your throats and make you love it. You're just going to have to try it out and find the love that we found on your own.
I don't know. I think there is something about like jamming it down your throat. I didn't buy a single Praxis at all. I have 4 glow Praxises in my bucket. I have like 10 swirly like Praxises out here. Like I didn't buy a single one, but I have like a double digits Praxis, and I think they're great putters. Don't get me wrong. I think they do deserve to be thrown, and they beat in to be something absolutely amazing. But I didn't buy a single one, but all of a sudden I have inventory of them.
But what
It
do you
hap-
say about the Pathfinder?
It's not an MD3.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What?
I'm not
He's
TSA.
worried.
We
I'm
just
gonna.
kick you out.
I'm gonna be
He's not
honest.
wrong. It's not. It's not. It's a different disc.
It is
Yeah.
a
I
different one.
find the Pathfinder is what hooks people in.
It's
I-
true.
I tried to love the Path, but I'm an avid MD3 thrower, and I've tried like adamantly to fall in love with the Pathfinder because one, I think it's the closest thing I found to what my MD3 can do. And I trust them, and I can find them for $20, $30, and be happy. Especially with this glow run that just came out. Oh, I picked up like 4 or 5, wanting to fall in love with it. But I mean, when I've had my MD3 in my bag for 2 years at this point of this season, and it's hard to kind of get off of that for me. But
So you just have to
Dude, I
lose it
hear
and
you,
someone
man.
not give it back.
yeah, exactly. I had one lost in Austin for nationals.
Oh gosh.
Went to North Carolina and then came back to me. So that was a roundabout
If you want to
way.
talk about lost discs, I got a funny story about my synapse.
Let's hear it.
I want to hear it.
Just
This
have
is
to
the
ask. Oh, you want to
time.
hear it?
This is
It's
this is
a
exactly
gooder.
what I want to hear.
Okay, so I went out to a course. It's a pretty wooded course up in Buffalo Pound, Saskatchewan. You can disc it.
Buffalo
and I
Pound?
threw Buffalo Pound is a provincial park.
Okay.
And I threw a synapse and it went into the thick of the thickest bushes you can imagine. And I looked
The
at
real
it
thick
and I'm like,
stuff?
yeah, really thick. Real thick.
Well,
And there was like no way I was going in. I just looked at my fiance and I said, nope, we're done. We're going to continue on. I got my name and number on it. Someone finds it, they'll return it. I never got a call, but I was hosting a disc exchange at the Saskatchewan Open Championships. And after all the discs were collected, I had to like assign numbers for everyone. And I looked at the table and wouldn't you know, my disc is sitting on that table with my name and phone number on it. And I'm like, who the heck put my disc in the disc swap? And so one of my dear friends he was the first one picked. And because it was TSA and it had my name on it, he had to have it. And so I told him I would sign my name on it just so he had something special one day. So,
That's
but I'll
awesome.
never forget him. Like my disc that I lost somehow managed on a disc swap. I was so mad.
Those are like
It was
the
prettiest one.
those are the most surreal times. Like we were talking about Corey earlier. So I gifted him a Force when he moved from Portland down to Arizona.
Right on.
And it was a 4-time Force, but he came up here and visited last spring, lost it at Blue Lake, and at Oregon Disc Golf Championships was at Trojan, and in the lost and found pile was this Force that I gifted him and that he lost at Blue Lake. I was like, screw this, like I'm taking this, and I haven't shipped it back. It's sitting right here, but I got to ship it back. But it's like such a random like occurrence where it's just like random lost and found at a tournament all the way across, and they lost it in the water, so you had to fish it back, and yeah, it was just a crazy journey of discs.
I do want to jump back a little bit
No,
to
we're vibing here, Josh.
the ambassadorship, because I know a lot of people are wanting to, as much information, not knowing a lot about it. It's all new and fresh to them. So we heard from Lurch. Is there anything that Alex or Jerry Ann wants to add into like what you're looking for and what somebody should be trying to present when filling out the applications?
I'll go after Jerry Ann. So when it's my turn, I could be like, "No, they said it."
Okay.
Wow. Look out for the bus.
So I'm kind of like Lurch. Like everyone's like, oh, you know, I'm not a 1,000 rated player, and I don't play a million tournaments, and I don't have like 10,000 followers. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's not about your huge Instagram following. It's not about having high rated rounds. It's not about 1,000,001 tournaments. I mean, I'm living the dream right now. I'm actually proof because I come from a place in Canada that only has 1 million people in the entire province. So like I always say, I'm like small town girl over here. And so obviously it's not about all that. It's about what you do for your community. It's about how you lift people up. It's about what are you doing to grow the sport? Because disc golf has been a hidden secret for so long, and that's not what we need anymore. We need to blow this up. We need a disc in every home across Canada, across America, across the world, really. It's a sport that's so inclusive. So what are you doing to keep it that way? That's what I care about.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, see, they kind of covered it. No, you know, everything that Lurch and Jerry said, you know, I don't know what I can say really without repeating something that they said, but I just want to place emphasis on the fact that like we really don't care about your rating. Social media is a plus, but like, you know, very not required. It's about, again, what you're doing in your community, how you're elevating those around you, how you're empowering those around you to elevate their networks, and so on. You know, before I start rambling, you know, I'll kind of cut it off there. But I saw in the chat, there was a question about the number of people getting accepted. We're bringing on 15 new people. That's 5 per region, 5 East, 5 West Central, 5 Canada. So, you know, we hope that this time, and we've kind of like diligently made sure that this time everybody, regardless of where you are, gets a fair shake, gets a fair shot, gets looked at. And just, you know, seeing the people that have applied so far, I think we've surpassed 400 at this point.
We just hit 400 before this.
Just hit 400. Just some of the names there. We've got absolutely fantastic people, and like we're all very excited to have these new faces on the team.
And
Nice.
FYI, there's probably like 90 plus Canadians. So it's not even easy from my end being Canadian. It's gonna be tricky. I've been scanning, I've been detectiving and checking out some of those names. And like Alex said, there's some amazing talent out there. And yeah, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, and if you want a short spot on the team, take a picture of your bare feet and send it to Jerry.
No,
He absolutely loves
I
feet.
hate you.
I've been torturing you for like a week.
No, you're definitely not on the short list if you do that.
No.
Yeah, we don't know
Not
who's watching,
message
so I
any of
feel like I have to say, don't do that.
No.
Thank you, Alex.
But no, please don't message us. Please don't try to buddy us or brown us. You
It's
cannot
really
buy me
hard.
PBR to get on the team. You can't come over and cut my lawn or plow my driveway, even though my snowblower just broke. You know, you can't
You
bribe
most
us.
definitely can't do that. We totally
No,
would
no.
fast track you on that.
No, not at all.
What if you were
Personally,
a gym
Here I
teacher
like, by
that
the way.
teaches kids how to play disc golf? Does that help your chances?
What's that?
Pardon?
What if you were an elementary school PE teacher that teaches kids how to play disc golf? Does that help your
That-
chances?
Cody has like
That
a direct
is
line
funny.
to TSA right now, trying to push himself there.
That is funny.
There's only
because
11
that's one
spots open, kids.
Cody, that's actually really ironic because that's one of the reasons why I picked up a guy last year. Jeremy Ryder,
Mhm.
part-time disc golf. I'm probably
Shout out
messed
Ryder.
that up. Shout out Ryder. He's absolutely killing the social game.
Oh
He
yeah.
does amazing videos, and he works at a school, and he's trying to get, when I talked to him last time, he was trying to get a 9-hole built for his school. So
That was today
This
with
guy.
kindergarten.
Move the.
That was-
Oh,
phone
can
into
I
the
also
frame.
add?
There
I
you go.
don't know if you guys have looked at the roster of the 2022 ambassador team, but apparently if it starts with a J, you have a really good chance of getting in because there's a lot of J names that made the team last year.
It checks out.
Hey,
It checks
Josh
out.
is living proof of that.
Yeah,
Josh.
we have
What do
our
we have?
very own Jay
3
Foster
Jeremys,
TSA.
2 Justins, a Jerry.
A Gian, although not with a J, has the same sound.
Has the same sound.
We
She
got
is
a
awesome, by the
jerk.
way.
Oh,
She's
I
never
love
met her.
her. Beautiful human being, inside and out.
Yes.
I know somebody wrote in a question prior to the show to ask all of you.
I do
One,
not sleep in a tub.
With flannel sheets.
Can you show us
and
your
denim
bathtub
thong?
one
Sorry,
of them was
Josh.
no. I didn't want to ask the question because you gave us a spoiler alert earlier, but
Yeah.
I was gonna leave it at that. But if you want to get into more detail, where you actually sleep, the people want to know.
It's in a king size bed. I have to sleep diagonally if I do want to sleep in the bed. And super fun fact, Alec knows this because he stayed at my house for Maine States last year. I am one of those super awesome people that snore at night, and I stop
Oh.
breathing 130 times an hour. So I have to wear one of those masks. And if I don't, when I first got my CPAP machine, I really hated it. So I never used to wear it. And Nicole used to facilitate me wearing it every night with the corner of her elbow. Because I used to snore so much she couldn't sleep. So yeah, king size bed, flannel plaid sheets. I'd probably show you my bed, but it's a mess right now. And Nicole's probably already in it, passed out. So
Are you super
Giggity.
tall? Is that why you say you had to sleep diagonal?
I'm 6'9.5", Gordy.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm not-
Hold on.
I feel like he's
Hold on.
exaggerating.
He's
Typical
not.
male.
He's not.
I mean,
He
I'm
is
6'5" and
enormous.
I thought I was tall. This dude's got
Oh,
me
wow.
beat.
Yeah.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's totally a Cam Todd piece too. All right. My battery sucks. I gotta plug this in before I die.
No worries.
Love it.
Oh, great. I went from 100 to 77. Yeah. This battery is toast.
Well, there's something that Jerry Ann, I think you said that kind of resonated with me, and this is where we'll give a little plug to one of our show sponsors, like Dark Ace Discs, because like what they're kind of about is just kind of what you guys were talking about, where it's like we're not going to be like the best disc golfers, we're not going to be like 1,000 rated or whatever, but what they're doing out there in that whole community is being authentic, and they're bringing music into like disc golf, and which is like goes hand in hand, right? One of the first people, like I mentioned Corey, I'll shout him out again, where he has a freaking six-pack in his bag, but he has a speaker that's with him everywhere that he goes, and he's blasting his music, and you know that's the way he plays, and like so me, like disc golf and music always goes hand in hand, and so like Dark Ace is just like you'll see their community where they're being fully authentic with themselves and perpetuating that, and the pros that they picked are that same kind of mentality, that same mindset, and they're still just being themselves out there. So
Pause
it-
for a second.
Yeah.
You like Dark Ace?
I
I love Dark Ace. Stay tuned till next week.
all right.
I got an epic video.
Ooh.
Okay.
You heard it
Exciting.
here first.
I'm here
people.
for that.
Jammers exclusive.
Jammers exclusive, get into all the new
Two-time
unveils.
exclusive.
Right, George, if you're listening, I'm looking forward to you guys next week. But
That's awesome. I love hearing that.
yeah, the
I didn't
authenticity in
say
disc golf.
anything, but you
You
know.
didn't. You didn't.
Just stay tuned for next week.
Hmm.
So to that question that was written in by
How
some
he sleeps?
people.
We answered that, Josh.
No, there's two more after that.
There
It
you go.
was what are the requirements to be on the ambassador team? So if someone got picked, what is it expected of them? And I think the second part of their question was, what kind of perks come with being an ambassador?
Sure.
Not it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it because I've been
Good, because I can take a deep
unfairly
break.
like just so I understand the question, you know, what does the life of an ambassador look like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll start off with kind of I think what everybody wants to know. Yeah, just as of recently, there's a discount code. Sweet Team Stand Plastic. We're kind of like jumping into the benefits like right off the top. The community, like the group of ambassadors that we have is absolutely wonderful, and we are in touch all the time, elevating each other, laughing our asses off, just like having the best time, like bouncing ideas. In terms of like what we want you to do, we want you to be on social. Again, it's not like super tippy top of the hierarchy of like important things, but like if you're on social, like that's a very great way to accomplish our goal, which is rising that tide. I stole that from Lurch and he said it, and apparently I latched onto
It
it.
was great.
Yeah, elevating everybody around you, like and empowering them to do the same. There's like some recommended cadence of social media posting. One requirement is having a PDGA number because we do want you competing. You don't necessarily have to be winning. Winning is fantastic. Winning is amazing. Please win. But like, we just want you competing so the people that you're playing around can see the incredible plastic that you're throwing these incredible shots with. And they're like, that's the coolest thing ever. How did you do that? What did you do that with? We keep it like very, very loose. Like there's not, our goal is not to make people miserable. It's not to make people feel like they have a second job. What the ideal candidate looks like is somebody to whom all of this comes very naturally. Like myself, for example, it didn't feel like I was doing anything extra. It's just kind of the way I'm wired and where my compass points to true north. I'm out there like spreading that word. I do a lot in the community in terms of like getting plastic into people's hands, donating plastic, just having plastic available at the course. Do a lot. What I do a lot of, I'm involved in a lot of events to benefit charity. These are all things that will be very helpful to somebody who's hopeful for the team. Josh, you were a very, very, very easy selection. So if you really want to like get a good handle on like what it takes, go bother Josh. Speaking about tossing people under buses. But I think Lurch or Jerry would also like say a lot of what I said, but also might have some things to add. So like if you guys have anything, feel free to jump in. But like I feel like I very, very astutely answered that question. So
I think like I personally tried to, this was my first team. You have to understand, like I was sponsored by Top Link Disc Golf, which is the leading distributor of TSA up in Canada. And that was my only team. And in
is that their slogan?
No, I don't know, maybe.
We sell discs too, eh?
Number one in Canada, eh?
Yeah. So they're the only Canadian distributor of TSA. So that's a big deal. So it was an
Shout out Top Link.
Yeah, I'll always have love for Top Link. Brian Clare. But with TSA, like I feel like it just I was so surprised I made the team, and I was so honored and so blessed that I really wanted to make the most of the experience. So I actually took time to try and get to know every single player of the 2022 ambassador team. And I think we are very well rounded. We were very diverse and we hit every point altogether. So just because you do only win tournaments, but you don't have a social media presence, doesn't mean you don't have a need for you on the team. It's about full circle, right? So we all fall on each other, and we are really a family. Like some people had some hard times and they leaned on the team to lift each other up, and then there's some people who like just have babies and we all lift each other up in celebration, or messaging each other on a birthday. It's not just about elevating the people around you, but also elevating the team and lifting each other up and being a family. We really are a family. I don't even care if you're an ambassador. If you are in the TSA groups, you are family. We are all one, and it's just about being that family. Sometimes we're dysfunctional, but hey, we're here for a good time.
Dysfunctional families are the best family.
Right? For fun.
Well, too, and I feel like that makes it a lot easier when you travel to tournaments and stuff, because you can start to see and make those connections. Nothing worse, because I was sponsored, or I am sponsored by a couple different people, and you go in and it's like, okay, cool, I'm here. Here's another sponsored player, but our paths aren't going to cross. We're not seeking each other out. We're just have to be representing the same brand, which it's fine, because like what I signed on to was kind of that. But it's like sometimes I always feel like that missing. So like this year I was like, oh, how do I get my buddy that I play with all the time sponsored by the same company as me so we can do content together? How do I get so now all of a sudden there's like people being sponsored up here and want to figure out how to like get connected and do some of those. So it seems like that's at the core of what you guys are trying to do is, can you guys vibe with us? Can we mesh? And can we continue to kind of just, as corny as it sounds, elevate each other's game. I know you guys keep throwing that word out there, but you
It's
know, I
real.
guess it's
It's
real.
great.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
funny
calling
you
it corny.
say.
Oh, it's
It's funny
So-
you mentioned bringing on your buddy because one of the kids I picked up last year on the East Coast is Eric Oakley's camera guy,
Mhm.
Zach Benson. Shout out Prismatic Gear. If you want the most loudest shit in the game that is not plaid, Prismatic Gear. Check him out. He's also king of the 8 holes at Maple Hill. That group
Okay.
at Maple Hill, you can
Yeah.
always hear going,
They're all-
woo! Yeah, that's him. That's his group.
Well, heck yeah. I saw somebody write in that they asked. Looks like the second time they asked the question they really want to know is
One
why.
question apiece. Come on, share.
Yeah,
Can't be greedy, guys. Come
yeah,
on.
why couldn't you have ambassadors from New England last year?
I'll handle that one. That was a direct line of communication straight from me to Wilmont. He felt that the North America, New England was too flooded with talent. Our tour team is a lot of Maine local pros, and he just felt that we were too concentrated in Maine, and we needed to break into newer markets like Charlotte, Florida, Texas is one
Canada.
that Canada. We're already in Canada, eh?
Huh?
I played hockey
Eh?
20 years. I know how to talk like one.
Just real
um,
deadly.
But Aaron, who says they're all real?
Hey,
Hey. Also, I was a goalie. But yeah, going back, I have ADD, so it's like squirrel. You guys can't get me off topic once I get going. So Aaron really wanted to break into new markets like Charlotte, California, other places besides Maine. We already had a great presence in Maine. 1 out of 6 guys are already rocking the TSA shirt. Everybody knows about TSA in Maine. So we wanted to spread the love and distribute the wealth, basically.
Before Maine kills us, I want to jump in and say, like, you know, I talked to a lot of folks from Maine, like at the conclusion of last year's application, and one thing that I told them was like, listen, like New England and Maine, like y'all are the OGs, y'all are the original ambassadors. Like, you guys got the word out to me in Arizona, to California, to Canada, Alaska, to everywhere. Like, we wouldn't we're not on this podcast. Nobody is where we is without the people in Maine, without the people in New England. So I really want to thank them, and I'm really glad that we're able to bring them to the team official this year.
That's going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie. There's some major names coming out of there. Woo!
Yeah,
tough.
and we've already greenlit someone from Maine. That's all I'm going to say.
is that
Ooh.
Cody? Cody's from Maine.
We've already
Maryland.
greenlit someone from Maine.
Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Sorry, it's East
Not
Coast. It's all the
Maine.
same to me.
Maryland,
Maryland.
Starts with the M. It's the same.
Maryland, Maine, Mississippi.
Massachusetts.
No. We can't have any assholes on the team. We already have one.
Well, I mean,
There he goes. All right.
Oh, he did
Whoa.
the dip.
We
I
always
got
have
him back. I'll bring him back.
We were just about to dig into the real questions.
right.
Oh, yeah. That's why the guys kicked me out. All right. I see how it is.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to add to the listeners about the ambassadorship? Any
Just-
extra tidbits?
Just be a good fucking human, man. That's all we're looking for.
He said the F word first. You heard it.
Sorry. Damn it. Oh, sorry, Aaron. Come on.
Wasn't me.
Everybody was betting on me. Come on.
Yeah, we were.
I was betting on myself. I'm just glad it was you first.
PSA side bets, right? Now you're off the
Yeah.
team. We heard,
I'm the one that made the team.
right? Well, I'm just glad to hear that Josh got a promotion to assistant to the team captain. That's
Assistant
pretty
to the
big-
team captain.
That's a pretty big step, Josh.
Look at the flooper.
Right?
Assistant
Well,
to the trailer park supervisor.
That's
Oh, Jerry didn't get that joke.
No, I was focused on the flooper.
Oh, mine's passed right the hell out. I don't know how she's being so quiet.
Talking about ADHD and I see a dog, I'm always gonna see the dog.
Oh, pet the puppy.
Is there anything from TSA coming on the pipeline? That,
Ooh, there's
you
a good
might know about?
question. Can we get
Oh,
Yeah,
Cap's
there's a
favorite
lot.
disc?
There's
Anything that you can share?
Well, Cap's favorite disc. You want to pull that comment up, Josh? Blast that.
Which
I
one
like
do you
that
want to share
question.
first, Jerry? I mean, we got a couple little teasers from Aaron we get to say today.
yeah, like if
You
you're
go
on
ahead.
this,
I'll stay out of that one.
if you're on this right now, like you are getting information that literally nobody else has. So
Yeah, we got a couple exclusives that we had to ask the boss about because we had to get something. We can't come on your show and just talk about the team. We had to give you guys something juicy, something good to share with the nation.
Juicy. You heard it here first.
Mm.
to really sink your teeth into.
Or as they say in Canada, deadly.
My man really had to clear his throat.
I had to do that. So we already talked about the new captain.
No
we
do
have
to boot it.
what?
No dude about it.
I can't do the accent. I know I'm supposed to have a Canadian accent. I don't have that kind of Canadian accent.
All right.
Hey, dude. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Not that
the most
kind.
Canadian way. It's just not as strong. It's just very soft.
So let's see. We have some new signature disc and jerseys coming out, which is no big surprise. We've got some new pros on. They're probably going to want their own signature disc and series. Speaking of
And the
those,
jerseys are sexy.
they are sick. We have seen them, but we can't talk about them. We've been sworn to secrecy. But
All
they
I
are
can say
sick.
is wait till you see these. Wait till there's like 6. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. There's like 6.
They're 6.
6
It's
plus
just
the
like
one
one
that they
so
just
far.
showed
You see
on
them.
the story yesterday.
Oh
So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
technically
which is
Right.
not
7.
included.
Yeah.
So yeah, the jerseys. All right. Maria's signature disc. We are hoping for Las Vegas Challenge next month.
Ooh. That's
So
soon.
that is like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't say what disc it is because I don't even know. Aaron wouldn't tell us. But we're looking at a
Might
signature disc for next year in 4 weeks.
That's big.
It's round.
That is big. And
It is round, Cody.
Speaking of disc, the disc that everybody has been asking about, when's it coming out in Q1? When's it coming out?
Drum roll.
It's coming out in the spring of Q1, which tells me March.
Okay.
This
Right.
is I'm gonna slaughter this name because I can't say it.
No.
Coalescence?
No!
Coalesce.
Damn it!
The
Ah! Yes.
The-
yes.
The
Can I say the whole thing? The Thomas Gilbert signature Nebula Aura Coalesce coming soon. We're thinking March 2023.
Oh heck yeah.
That's pretty
We're
cool.
not worthy. We're not worthy.
So
How
new
cool.
signing with a new mold. I love that. That's nothing but hype.
Yeah.
Yes, he was crushing those this week on a promo video. If you have not seen them, he makes 400 feet look like nothing.
I know that. I watched that video. I'm like, I need to go to the field for a while. Maybe a year.
Right?
Well, that's
TSA
awesome.
umbrellas. I would love a TSA umbrella.
Umbrellas,
Especially-
bucket hats, beanies,
Socks.
things that we don't know whether they're coming because I just made them up.
I will
Hats,
say-
If we ever
toques.
if we ever have a bucket hat, it's definitely going to be the Alex Stone signature edition.
I want a toque.
Nope.
Me
Toque.
too, Jerry. I do too.
All right, you get a toque, you get the bucket hat, I get the flannel.
Wait, I get
fair.
the flannel too. Like I want it all.
So I do got to thank TSA. So I'll thank you three on behalf of all of TSA. So you guys do Finley hats for a lot of your TSA hats. And I remember randomly buying one because I like the artwork. This is however long ago. And it fit my fat head. I have a big head. These hats don't really fit.
That
But
makes 2 of us.
yeah, they're comfortable. They fit. And so since then, I've done custom orders through them every year. Like, so I did like my Strongman fundraiser. So I got my Strongman logo that Corey designed on my Finley hat. I got like Terminal Velocity last year. We got their hats from Finley. And it's just like, and they're local here in Portland. So I'm like, oh, I get to support local all the more so. And so I got a great relationship with them. But it's like, it started with TSA and because I randomly bought one of the hats because it looked really cool. So thank you guys. I guess you just mentioned hats, like bucket hats and everything. So that made me think about that one little story. I guess I have a little bit to thank TSA for in my disc golf career. I just never thought about it. No.
Is that like a backhanded compliment? That was
Absolutely,
terrible.
absolutely.
I guess I can say thanks for something, y'all.
I throw shade and
Wait,
sass. That's what
Has
that's what
anyone
you get.
here actually used the space axe?
The space axe.
Those are dope. They feel.
Oh my
super
god,
cool.
they're like the
stretchy.
best hand dry sack on the market. They're the best. So if you haven't, go get
Oh.
yourself one. I'm not kidding.
I
Like,
don't know about that.
Game changer.
God makes a Terry game good.
I just
one,
picked
too.
up Max Wax as a sponsor and absolutely love those things. So.
Hell yeah, Max
Those
Wax,
things-
baby.
Like
Max
it's not,
Punks.
yeah, those things aren't aggressively like chalky. They're just I don't know. I enjoy them.
Oh my
and
God.
Lurch is wasted.
don't know, if you
beers?
take
Are you
9,
kidding me?
you'll
I'm
probably
just
drink more than
warming
a
up,
couple.
Jerry.
It is a good warm up. I know that I saw there.
I was a whale sack person as well until the space sacks came out. I'm not kidding.
The space sacks
Game
are really
changer.
good.
Space
Yeah.
sack.
Oh,
Mhm.
by the way, Josh, I totally apologize. My
Please.
friends have totally entered the chat, and you can tell who they are because they're just breaking my balls this whole time. Shout out to my buddy
Hey.
Chris. There's your Wu-Tang symbol, and you owe me a beer next time I see you, Dink.
Ah,
There was someone who. There it is. I found it. Can we get
Oh,
each
Lois was
yeah.
asking something.
favorite disc?
This is a great
Fav-
one.
Okay, so we
hey,
have
I
to play this
asked that
now.
earlier. No one was listening.
Favorite TSA disc or favorite disc overall? I think it should be a two-step question.
So let's do two-step question. I like that.
As he cracks
Well,
open another
I
one.
guess I will answer my favorite disc, and it's probably because it's what got me to throwing them would be the Praxis. And I swore up until last winter I couldn't throw the TSA discs. They were too pretty to throw. They were hanging up on my wall. And we went to putt club, and I sucked. I was throwing bergs. They were just not going in. And my fiance said, hey, I dare you to throw a Praxis only round at putt club. And I'm like, it's not going to throw the same. It's not going to throw the same. He's like, I dare you. And of course, then I get dared. I got to follow through. And I went in and had my best putt club round ever just throwing the Praxis. And so that's got to be my favorite disc. And if I had to omit my entire TSA bag, that's the one that would make me cry the most.
Shout out Arlen.
What about now the second part, the non-favorite TSA, right? That
Oh!
was the second part.
Mhm.
You know what? That's a
everyone was
great
waiting
thing.
for.
I'm going to say the Castaplast Lots, which is a 9.5 minus 1.2. But I just received a generous disc today. I get to try out. If you can
It's
see.
green. Big surprise.
It's green. Of course, it's got to be green. And it's called the Dynasty, which is the same numbers. So I'm really loving the feel in the hand and the grippiness. And so I'm actually going to bag this the next time I go out, and I'm going to give it a throw.
Is that eye plastic?
I don't know.
I think it's their eye blend. It feels kind
I've
of like
never thrown one before, so I
Starlight
have
plastic.
no idea.
And that's
It
their
is.
cool
What is it, like Pro
alien
and Star
abduction
mix?
stamp. Yeah. I think you should like it. It starts out a little bit more stable and then beats in faster
If-
than like
It
Yeah.
feels like the Castaplast, so like it has that
Mhm.
same softness. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
and I love that stamp. Mm.
Oh, I know.
All right, then, Alex
Super
next.
pretty. Sure. Favorite TSA disc? Started with the Animus. Got mad love for the Animus. I have love for all their lineup, but being like Paige said, like a power guy over a finesse guy, although I do aspire to the latter.
Me too.
I gotta say the Animus. I'm absolutely loving the Mana. That's way up there. Pathfinder's up there. Mantra, I could just name all of their molds, but I got mad love for the Animus.
Do it. You won't.
What?
What?
I said you're going to name all the molds. I said, do it. You won't.
Ready?
Oh.
Praxis, Alter, Mana, Pathfinder, Votum. Also love the Votum. Mantra, Animus, Synapse. The rest of the stuff that y'all don't know about, but that's coming soon.
Well, everyone
I'm
knows the
gonna be-
Koalas. It came out in Maine State
The
Championship.
coalescence.
The koalas, yeah.
Coalescence.
The disc that starts with either a C or a
Oh,
K
it's
and
a
ends
T
with
one.
a consonant.
Or alter.
Favorite non-TSA disc. Oh, the construct. Forgot the construct.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Almost all
Let me
over
do my
chair.
candy
Right?
impression.
This is gorgeous. Get ready.
This is a construct. Ooh, that's pretty. You're
ready
gonna get
for the
messages off that
non-TSA.
disc, Lurch. Non-TSA favorite non-TSA disc is
I know
the Cax
Alejandro
from
is here and
Castoplast.
he's gonna love this. Watch this.
The Cax from Castoplast. It's in my opinion, it's the biggest hole in the Thought Space lineup. Is like an overstable mid.
I think
A little bit slower than the Vodum I want, like a DGA Quake or like a Cax or like a Buzz OS or like you name it. That would be huge. And I forgot the Temple. Oh, I'm the worst captain.
Oh,
No, you
Terrible.
said Temple. You just
I
didn't
did?
say Muse.
Yep, that's the one I
Yeah, you
didn't
said
hear.
Temple.
And Muse. You put me on the spot, and clearly I crumble. Castoplast Cax. My bag is Thought Space, Castoplast, and then anything that isn't Thought Space or anything that's not Thought Space is probably Huck Lab, because it's kind of
Yeah.
like that.
After your bag
Uh,
is lab.
I see why
Yeah.
you were my captain if you love Castoplast. That's blasphemous. Oh my god, that hurt my heart.
Yeah.
8 out of
I
10.
got this
8 out of 10
yesterday.
first run.
Oh boy.
That's sick. I could tell you Lurch throws a lot of like really cool hyzer flips. So his disc
Some
is.
practice, though.
Let me see if I could remember Lurch's favorite disc. Lurch's favorite disc. Shit.
I'm holding it in my hand right now.
Why did I do that? Lurch throws a
What's
lot
the
of
disc?
mantras.
What's it? There you go.
Lurch throws a
You're
lot of
slurring your
mantras,
words,
and
Lurch.
he throws
yeah.
Queens. He throws West Side Queens.
Nope.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
Nope.
Twin
And
swords from Yukon.
latitude bolts.
There you go.
All right.
This is where you jump in and do your thing.
Hey.
Lurchy,
Let's go with favorite TSA.
aka
disc
Captain
first.
Underpants.
Don't start. Let's go favorite TSA disc. I'm going to shout out to my Secret Santa, Tyler Prude, for this because it's in reach.
Shout out to you, Pro.
The thing is sick as hell. This is the
So glad someone
TSA
shouted it
mantra. The reason why I love this disc is I blew my L5 out last year and I couldn't do X steps all through the winter. Not only because it was slippery, it caused massive pain. So I had to relearn how to throw without an X step. So basically, we're talking standstills. And about this time, I found Thought Space and I started throwing the mantra and effortlessly, just getting 250 right off the box. So I was like, God damn, this is an awesome disc. Push that 250 up to 3. And I'm like, man, like I'm pushing just as much distance with a mantra on a standstill than I am with a full run up. Like, I got to get some more of this. Like, this shit's awesome. So that's my favorite TSA disc. Favorite non-TSA disc? Probably, I got to go old school. I got to go Latitude 64 Mercy. They've been in my bag since the very start. The Easy E line. They are my go-to putters. They've been putting with me, minus the Prodigy Experiment. I've been bagging those for about 8 years, pretty much straight up. I like the Mighty Ducks hat switch, by the way, Alex, while I wasn't looking. That was good. That was good.
You know what? I want to answer this question.
No,
That's
go,
okay.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes!
gonna do it.
This
I'm gonna
isn't
do
to
it.
the
I'm gonna do
captain.
it.
We already did the top
Do it.
half. Let's get the bottom
Yeah.
half. Let's
That's right.
go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So the TSA
Yeah.
disc that I could not live without is hands down the Pathfinder. I can one disc round that all day long and be happy with it. I can putt with it. I can throw with it. I can go left. I can go right. I can go straight.
It holds
Love
an Annie beautifully.
Yeah, especially in the Aura plastic. I love the Aura.
Mhm.
My favorite non-TSA disc is a Zoe Andike Sphinx. Those swirly beauties,
Which run?
right? They're all good.
Show us. Oh, look at all those discs. Show us.
Of a Zoe one, I was not prepared.
Put you
to
on the
grab
spot.
a Zoe off of it. I'm not organized, as you can see. they're all
Okay,
different
everybody go find a Zoe disc. Ready? 1, 2, 3, quick.
I might be able to do it. But yeah, the Zoe Andike Um,
Shout out to
Alright,
Zoe.
Cody Abbott.
the
Future
first run-
guest on Jammers in the Rough, Zoe.
Oh yeah, we'll get her on here.
Shout
Oh,
out
here we
Zoe.
go. I got
Oh
one.
my god, if you have Zoe, you got to bring me back.
I was gonna say we're just
I was able to do it. Anyway, this disc, I've been bagging this one. Like when I talked with Alex, when I was having my meetings with him to possibly become an ambassador, I was like, I can still throw my Zoe and Sphinx, right? Like, he's like, of course. That's one thing that, what's cool about being an ambassador is they're not, DOSBase wants you to succeed. So they're not going to ask you to just throw all TSA discs. If you have a disc that works for you, keep it in your bag. But I'm sure there's plenty of TSA you can fill some spots with. Anyways, that's my answer.
I
That's a great
love that
point,
you went
Josh.
back into your memory vault and remembered
there.
your interview with Alex, and yeah,
They were good ones. I liked. It was just chatting.
Conversations with me tend to be semi-memorable.
they really are. I love my conversations with you, Alex.
I do
Heartfelt,
want to say
always.
though, just because Josh brought it up, it's a great point for any like prospective potential ambassadors out there. We don't want to change your bag. If you're talking to us, you're probably already bagging at least 3 TSA molds, and that's what we want you to be bagging is at least 3 TSA
Five.
molds,
Five.
5 TSA molds.
Five.
4 this year, but
We're
You know,
lowering
it's
it with
answers
all
for
the discs
3
we
of them.
created. We're gonna lower it. Come on.
Now I'm pretty sure it was 3 last year.
It was
because
just
the lineup
5
was a little
discs. It
smaller.
didn't say mold. It was just 5 discs.
Oh, sure.
There could
sure.
have been 5 praxuses. Just saying.
In 2022 was absolutely huge for molds. And we plan to do the same for 2023 and have like game breaking new molds to bring to you. So we only want you bagging potentially 3, perhaps 5. But you could throw whatever the heck else you want. You don't have to putt with muses. You don't have to putt with alters. Personally, I putt with Ricos.
Bergs.
We want you. We want to be in your bag as much as we can be, but like not
Giggity.
over much. And before we steal the spotlight away from Cody and Paige, I want to hear about their discs.
well for me. I can jump into like, and this is like completely Josh because I played a few rounds with him, and his card of Pathfinders is what
Right.
I aspire to one day do. So like, if I do apply and get picked up, then it's one of those things like I'm really looking forward to the Pathfinder for TSA because, like I said, like Josh has like a seasoned bag of them, whereas it's like he let me like throw this one, throw that one. I'm like, oh, this is so buttery smooth, and then you go to the store, pick it up, and it's brand new, and it's like this doesn't do what Josh's did because he has like TLC in it. So for me, like I aspire to have like those 5 Pathfinders that are all different beat in, different plastics, because like I do like his first run ethos that he let me throw was just like this buttery smooth. It didn't nothing I can throw or nothing I've thrown since then had felt that good. So I do look forward to the day that I could maybe throw Pathfinders or do throw Pathfinders. And then my favorite disc by far is the CD2. I bagged 4 of those, and that's one of those where all of the runs they're subtly different that I've kind of picked up on. So it's like Roman Thunder 1 being a baby PD. I absolutely love that. Super glidey all the way down to some of my flippy runs. So CD2 for life for me.
Perfect.
What about you, Cody?
Well, my favorite TSA disc has been this so far. I have been loving the construct, and I haven't even had it super long. I love Wraiths. I'm a big Wraith fan. I have 3 in my bag, and this has taken over that like flippy Wraith spot for me. So,
what do you think of the Mantra Pro as its nickname?
Mantra
the
Pro.
Mantra? I mean, I could get on board with that. And so, what happened was, I was. Josh has sent me. Josh, is this the one from you? I think this
Mhm.
is the one from you.
Yeah.
And so I was out playing with some buddies. So I was like, I've never thrown this disc before. Let's see what happens. Chucked it. I won the CTP. It landed like 3 feet away from the basket. I was like, all right, well, you're now staying in the bag. So you're in there.
How it works.
And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this works. And what first got me to TSA was that old school Animus I showed. This thing.
Oh yeah.
It was like the overstable Wraith, and then it's just been great. And I threw these like crazy. Love the Zoe mantras, whatever you want to say.
I know,
So,
right?
That's where you're from.
One.
I call it mantra, but Lurch calls it mantra.
I think you
Mantra.
can make like a cool like
Mantra.
Mantra disc, but
Man,
yeah, so TSA Construct, probably other one would be a Wraith, and
Hell yeah.
they're kind of blending together here, so it might be shifting out. I'm digging the plastic. If they came out with a glow one, I would be a very happy man.
Glow Construct.
I'm
Mhm.
down with that.
All I can say is
Not saying
stay
anything.
tuned.
Stay
Not
tuned.
saying
It's gonna
anything.
eventually come out. Just
I can
Those
say
guys
stay
got it.
tuned, and I can say soon.
Ooh,
So I
How do you have secrets I don't know about? You don't even live in Maine, bro.
So I do have one. I know we're kind of closing for time and kind of being mindful of that and your all schedule. But before we move to closing thoughts, I do have an unscripted question for you all. There's a rumor floating around here in Portland. I've heard it. I didn't create it, I promise. But there's rumors
Which Portland?
that Oregon.
Okay, just make
Oh.
sure it's not Portland, Maine.
Yeah, but there is rumor mill that TSA might be stepping a little bit away from MVP and looking for a different manufacturer for their discs. And I just wanted the rumor quelled, but that's kind of what's floating around here. So I was curious.
I heard that rumor. I can't say one thing or the other. Well, not that I know and cannot say. It's that I heard the rumor, and I have gotten no information neither before nor since to substantiate it, despite a line of inquiry.
Yeah,
I asked because I want to know, and I got no information to substantiate any credence to that. I wish I could be more help.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I said, if you heard the rumor, I'm glad I'm not crazy and be like, oh, it's just a Portland, Unibarber thing where they're just like tinfoil hat on. It's like, oh, this is what's going to happen. MVP's going to sign Simon and TSA is going to be like, screw that. So I just had to ask. Portland's kind of
I'm
crazy
not
out
crazy.
there.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
Um,
To piggyback off Alex, I can
Yeah.
say the latest run of Pathfinders were MVP Eclipse 1.5 plastic.
Okay.
Nice little tidbit of fact because someone on Reddit asked me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the warehouse today. I might as well ask Aaron." It's the same glow we've always had. It's from MVP.
so good.
As far as I know, we're still going with MVP. I know MVP is ramping up their production. They went from 100% to like 550% the last year.
Wow.
Just pick a number
Just
and times it
wait.
by 5.5.
Look at the newest
Yeah.
signing.
I was saying after
Yeah,
Simon,
like-
probably higher.
Right.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
wouldn't
be
Right
up.
now.
With that much more production that they're making, I don't see us moving away from them.
Mm-mm.
But that is not my role in the company or the team, and that's way above my pay grade level. Oh, God,
One thing I will
man.
say though is what the company is going to do is whatever allows us to bring the highest quality plastic in the quantities that our people need it in. Ideally that is with MVP. Well, yeah, I guess ideally that's with MVP. But if there would be any change, there's no situation, there's no circumstance where that would cause any degradation in the quality. The only way that a move ever happens is if the quality remains the same, if not gets
Better.
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 Aaron will not stand for a shittier product. I'm telling you right now.
Mhm.
Aaron has a very, very high level of what he expects in a product. He will wear shirts for a week before he makes up his mind. He is very picky on his colors, his designs, and his product. He will not allow an inferior product.
Right.
No, I
And
love
it
to hear that.
shows.
I think you guys.
It does
Yeah.
show.
It shows.
100% shows.
All the way to the team.
Right?
Well, I mean, TSA to the Discmania Innova molds. I'm here for that. No. So, all right. Well, let's move on to our closing thoughts. Just to be mindful. So, Jerry Ann, do you want to kick us off? Just what are some of your closing thoughts for our podcast?
Oh my! Why'd you start with me?
I call randomly. I'm sorry.
Oh, ladies first, right?
What? I look way younger than you.
Shots fired.
You know what? I'm just really, honestly, thank you so much for an amazing 2022 season with Alex and Lurch, and I had an absolute blast. I probably annoyed Lurch more than Alex, but I had an absolute
You're still
blast.
young.
And I'm so looking forward to 2023, and I hope that I can, do some amazing things and have an epic team and just really kick ass out there.
All right, love to hear it. Alex?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to chat with us. This has been super cool. I've been like keeping half an eye on the chat this whole time, just because like, I know folks out there have questions and whatnot. And I forgot why I said that. So I just kind of want to circle back to thanking you guys for all the time. Really looking forward to chatting with a number of you when it comes to the 2023 team. If you make it, that's great. If you don't, that's not a door closing. Folks who went out in 2022 know that my door, and I'm gonna regret this, inbox is always open, and there's nothing I like better than making new friends. There's nothing I like better than making new friends. So like, if you had a question on here and we didn't get to it, like, you can ask me and I'll do my best to answer that. But y'all and everybody here, I just want to thank you for just continuing the mission and elevating yourself, those around you, elevating your game. Y'all are great. Shout out Corey Begay.
Yeah. Lurch?
All right. First of all, are there any other questions in the chat we need to address? Just to make sure. And while we're checking, shout out to my boy Will Buesler in the chat saying he carries 35 discs. That's a lie. I heard it was 44.
Yeah, it's more like
Belgrade
50.
Lakes. Yeah, kid has like a full Zuka cart to the brim. But he does amazing artwork, by the way. So I can't give you a dig without a compliment, buddy. I just want to thank Josh, Cody, and Paige, future TSA, for having us out here.
No.
I really appreciate you guys having us out. I'd love to come back if you guys ever allow me again. I know I'm a bit of a loud and brass, but it's been fun. To everybody in the TSA family, I really like to thank for number one, getting over 300 applicants from last year. I had an aim in my heart of 500. I didn't think we could actually do it.
We might get there.
Shotgun a beer in 6 seconds.
I have never shotgun a beer in my life. I can't do that.
It has to be a pounder. Shit, goddamn ADD. 300, 400. We already got to 400 people. I know. Bring it back. I really appreciate. We already broke last year's record of 300 at 400 now. If we get to 500, great. If not, I'm not going to be completely upset. I'm just absolutely blown away by the love and the respect of our community. And again, we only have 15 spots. So if out of 400, 500 people, you're not one of those 15, don't take it against us. Don't think that we are out to hate you or we don't fucking love you. It's just we're picking the best of the best. And we have to do what is best. We have to do what's best for the company, and we have to pick the cream of the crop, And yes. there's always next year. There's always main states or vacation land or the tournament down the road that I'm running, and just keep it elevated.
Get out to main states this year.
Yes.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Josh and gang, if there's anything that we could do to help grow the channel, I've got this really neat vacation land construct that I'd be happy to lend to you guys for some type of like tag a friend and subscribe type giveaway. So like,
I'm glad you brought that up because part of what we do is our goal this year is to do 52 weeks of giveaways. And so we can do a giveaway tied with that where we're trying to, push people, go follow TSA, go to the Facebook page, like their fan page. So we can send them you guys' way and do a giveaway for that. So if you guys
like
are listening,
TSA, like Jammers.
Yeah,
we're Jammers in the Rough on Jammers in the Rough on Facebook is where we do our giveaways. So go shoot us a follow and we'll have that construct for you coming within the next kind of couple weeks, depending on how long it takes to get here.
Oh, I'll make you guys a deal too.
The Rico exits tall.
I'll sponsor one of your weeks of giveaway, but you guys have to answer a question for me.
Ooh.
All right.
Need this.
Now, if I were to fly out to Oregon, what tournament would I need to win to get one of these sweet grandma trophies that you talked about last episode?
Mm,
That was the Resistance Open Series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody had a grandma trophy or something.
Yeah, so-
you were talking about.
It was
What the heck?
also great callback. So
Dallas's trophy.
so
I did my homework, dude. Come on.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's awesome. So we had the Resistance Disc Series, which is a 10-event series, and so
Yeah.
the top 3 placing in that was Dallas, myself, and Sam, who were on that podcast. But there was no trophies provided, so Dallas's grandma laser etched our trophies for that tournament. And
Okay.
funny that you asked, because I'm actually running a tournament in August 20th at Trojan, where she's going to be making the trophies for said tournament. So if you want some grandma
awesome.
trophies, August 20th, it's a Sunday, is going to be the tournament to fly out for.
Oh,
There you
please tell me
go.
you're getting Trojan Condoms to sponsor that.
It comes
That'd
with
be
free hard
hilarious.
candy.
Extra small for Lurchy.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, it's not about the size of the boat, Jerry. It's about the motion of the ocean.
He's already got all the
You
girth
just
in
make
the
us
world
throw
at
up.
6'9". He doesn't need it everywhere.
Oh, if we were not live, I'd have a great
What is
comeback
happening
for
right
that.
now?
Our final thoughts are taking 15 minutes. Cody,
Well,
where
hey.
you at?
I got a couple
I gotta
more.
follow
I wanna,
Oh, here.
Yeah. No, forget about me. Don't go after Cody.
Oh,
Wow.
go ahead, Cody. What are your closing thoughts?
I mean, I don't know what to say after that. Thank you guys for coming on. It was with 6 people. I did not know what was going to happen on here, but it went very smooth. You guys, you kind of live the TSA lifestyle, like you said. You're easy to talk to. You're just upfront, which was great. It was real easy to talk to you guys. I'm kind of disappointed. This was our first Canadian, and I didn't hear anyone say Tim Hortons once. So
I said maple syrup. That
I know,
counts.
but I was hoping like a stick.
Timmy
as a Tim
Hose is what we
Hortons,
say.
eh?
We
You
don't
know.
call it Tim Hortons.
Roll
we
the
call it
rim to
Timmy Hose.
win, girl. Come on.
Timmy Hose. I'm sorry. See, that's
Yeah, it's our
the
Timmy
information
Hose.
I need from a
Timmy
Canadian.
Ho-Hos.
So
And we call it bunny hugs in Saskatchewan. So the hoodies, we don't call them hoodies. We call them bunny hugs.
Bunny hugs? I like
The
that.
bunny
I have
hugs.
no
What
idea
Alex
what's
is wearing
happening
is a
right
bunny hug.
Bunny hug.
all right.
What do you call
So-
winter hat? Torques or something?
Toots.
Toques? Toques. That's what they're called.
I was like, we call that
I'm
down here,
confused.
but that's just because we have I have a lot of family up there where it's just like the Aboriginal Indigenous communities mix. So we have a lot of slang
Hey,
from up there. So
I'm Métis. I'm Cree.
oh heck yeah,
Yeah.
more Indigenous
But-
golfers. That's what we need right now.
Yeah.
For real. Very much so.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thanks for talking TSA and showing off some cool plastic. And if you haven't signed up or applied for the team, give it a try. Join up.
Hmm.
All right, Josh, what are some of your closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think I mean, kind of piggyback off some of the things were said tonight. As somebody who was an ambassador last year, going in again this year, when the question's asked, like, what is it that you should be doing to represent TSA and be a good ambassador, and what do you get from it? The answer really is, if you can be yourself, 100% be yourself, and if you live the TSA lifestyle, you're gonna be a good fit. It's just it comes natural. I don't see myself changing anything that I do to my day-to-day basis.
You've changed your whole
I just-
persona. Get out of here.
I
You
just-
got that whole emo fix when somebody in middle school starts dating the emo girl. They just change who they are. That's you. Josh was bright sweater, kind of preppy guy coming in here, and
And now
Yeah,
he's like
he's
the
got the
metal
MySpace
dude.
Now
Oh.
he's just like, oh yeah, TSA guys.
But what you get so being yourself is all you really got to do, and what you get from it, yeah, you get this and you get some things. What I love most about it is the family that comes with it, the team family. We talk in our team chats almost daily. We have a really good group of people, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. So yeah, that's my closing
Me
thought.
too.
It's worth it.
Well, before I move to closing this out, is there anything anyone else has to say before we?
Didn't you skip Alex?
Well,
I think Alex had
No.
something too.
Alex has
No,
something to
I
say. That's why I'm
went,
kind of
and then
giving this opportunity. Yeah.
I
You
went and
interrupted
then I
him,
talked
Mark.
over somebody. No, it was my fault. I just want to shout out my friends at Aloft Disc Golf up in Northern Michigan. They give me a platform to do a lot of what I'm doing as well. Check them out. Shout out Flagstaff, Arizona. We've got Master World Championships coming up in July 2023. So if you're 40 and over, come visit us. I run the club out there, and we're doing a lot of awesome work on the courses in the city and establishing new courses. Flagstaff, Arizona, PDGA Master World Championships 2023. Check out our ad in this winter issue of Disc Golfer Magazine.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, my closing thoughts are kind of simple. Like, I think coming into this, I know you guys hear a lot about like, oh, this is what they're doing, this is what they're doing, but to see it actually in place. So like when you talk about elevating your game, this is our first actually, because you guys needed a kind of landing zone. This is our first our Instagram, or not Instagram, YouTube live, where we've been live in our Facebook groups, not on YouTube, and be able to see just like that little bit of push from you guys and how much chat, how much communication, how much of that's kind of look like it's completely night and day. And seeing that, like, it's already kind of like, okay, I know it's going to stem a conversation moving forward with Gemma and the Russ if we want to continue going live on YouTube or not, because it's something that we haven't really seen, because you have the names, you have people instantly like watch, and it's just a lot. So I feel like just that little bit of like, stay in here. You guys answered our questions absolutely amazing, but you're also having an impact on our podcast outside of just being a guest. And so for that, like, not only thank you, but to me, it kind of really speaks testament to what TSA is about. So, huge props there. But with that, guys, we do got to kind of transition to closing out. We went a little bit longer than we normally do, so we're going to take a little bit of time. If Josh, you want to pull up our sponsors real quick so we can give a shout out. These are our lovely sponsors. Yeah, Dark Ace is front and center. Without them, we definitely wouldn't be here. Rare Air Discs right now, we kind of highlight one a week. We highlighted Dark Ace through the podcast, but we highlighted them last week as well. So this week we're going to focus on Rare Air Discs, who's out of Colorado. They're doing amazing things, and they definitely found different ways to kind of make rare discs accessible to everybody. So go hit them up, show some love. But with that, guys, everyone from TSA, thank you so much for coming out. I am just ever like grateful. So Josh, thank you for kind of drawing that connection and bringing them out here.
Of course.
But with that, everyone, keep jamming it in the rough. We'll see you next week, guys.